Hi there. Today we are discussing the branch scorecard. We will start with column A, B, and C, and you will see that these are pre-populated and these no changes can be made to these three. The reason for that is that they come straight out of our strategy session. So if we look at org structure, you'll see that it's divided into two. We have to identify specific SAIMC members and then operations. And then that is further divided into proper succession planning, communication, and then the recommended committee structure with sub-points under each of those. Although you cannot change A, B, or C columns, column D is where you can make your changes. If you decide that they ensure that key positions in your area has a person that can take over if something unforeseen happens, you give that a score of whatever you decide is important for your branch. The weights are all branch relative. One way to identify vice chairmen can be trained for the position. You can give that a 0% or you can give it a 5%, whatever you decide to give it. Then at the end of the day, you go through all these points and you decide how important this is for your branch. Forget the columns E and F at the moment. We're not looking at them. We're just looking at D. Once you've decided which of these points are important to you, you'll see that it all should end up with a percentage of 100%. You can see at this stage it is 105%, which means there you have to go and change some percentages. You can, for instance, make that only 1% and that one 1%, that one 1% and 1% until you get to 100%. And this is the check that you need to make sure that your weights all come down to 100%. Then column E is where you are at the end of the year, you are going to score yourself against that point. If you say, well, for that one, I actually didn't make it. I only got 50%. This one, I actually made it. It's 100%. This one, I haven't really started. I only give myself 10%. For these three, I did all three of them, so it's fine. I can give myself 100%. Then at the end of the year, you'll see this is the score that you get for your branch. And that will then determine what uh, uh, the, the prize will be that will be handed over to the general manager of the branch. The branch manager then decides how to dish out this money, and it's only meant to be given to committee members who have contributed to the success of the branch during that year. This is not a let's give everybody money. And the idea is that we want to get committee members who really go out of their way to make our branches successful, to give them a little bit of a recognition for all the trouble that they went through during the year. It's going to be quite tough because there are some committee members who will not receive anything, and this will all be up to the branch general manager who needs to act like a general manager and uh, give the prize distributed as they feel fit. Uh, if we don't do it that way, some people will just think, oh, it's not worth our while going through all the trouble. Everybody's going to get the same benefit in any case. So we're not comparing branches with each other. We just want to make sure that every branch provides their members with the maximum benefit out of the branch. And this is why this weight is dependent on you because you have to decide how important is this thing for your branch. If it's not important, you make it a 0. If it's important, then you make it 100% and don't have to do any of the other stuff. But just remember that at the end of the day, this has to be a realistic plan and you need to send copy to me as soon as you can and to Gerard Greef so that we can make sure that the score is realistic as far as the global SAIMC benefits are concerned. So I hope this is quite clear. If it's not, you can contact me at any time and we can go through it. Remember, column A, B, and C, you can't do anything about. That was decided in the strategy session. Column D is where you decide how important are these points for you and for your branch. Score is then how well did I perform, and that will do the calculation at the end. Thanks for you, and I hope that everything goes well for you and your branch during this year.